All right, family. What's good? We are back in the building again. Welcome to Aboriginal Global Media. And trying to get my Instagram audience on. Thought we had them on. Let's see. Might need to get them back on. All right, y'all. I'm going to get y'all back on Instagram. Give me a second. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. We are here to talk about the she. And since we're doing the solstice fast, we're going to talk about the winter solstice. We are going to talk about what the celebration was all about. It's very simple. And we're going to talk about what's connected to it. The underworld. The underworld. The Mayan underworld. Hoo-ha. Niggas be thinking we about to get spooky. Somebody sent me a crazy question today. And the question was, are we going to cover how the Quran's afterlife connects to the she underworld? It's not a bad question, but I just think that some folk are too spooky. Dangerously spooky. And so we will talk about both, though. I decided that the question needed to be addressed, so we will address that. Let me see y'all texting me. I'm gonna see if I can connect the stream to Instagram. It's saying I'm live on Instagram. I thought I had to connect it. It's saying it's live. I don't know what y'all watching. I don't know what y'all watching. Let's see if I can check it. We are streaming live on Instagram, on Facebook, on X, on YouTube, on a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see if they got me live. No, they actually don't have me live. Seeing here, I'm streaming live. Let's see. Let me edit it. I'm gonna put a new stream on Instagram so y'all don't accuse me of leaving y'all out. 1 second. Let me get y'all folk back in here. But this is a good conversation to have. It's a cultural conversation. What it does is it also gives me the opportunity to connect you to the culture. A lot of times when people think we are discussing the Mayans, I was saying I already got a stream key. I don't need another one. Let's see if I can change it though. All right, let's see if we can add Instagram again. Here we go. Put the new stream key in. A lot of you don't understand how I'm connecting Southeastern Aboriginals in the United States to the Mayans. Like, you don't understand it. Even though we have both published and publicly lectured about the extent of the spread of the she, and that it was not a localized place in Bonham Peck or any of these traditional areas. It spread all the way up the east coast of the United States of America. We connected the phenotypes, the linguistics, the culture, all of that. And so this presents us with another problem that we have. The problem that we have is that we are highly dependent on an educational system that was designed to make us like most of us are. very unintelligent, and with a mob psychology thought about something that is inaccurate, especially when it comes to telling the stories of history. The reason why that is so important is because all of this is hinging upon the fact that you never get your real identity. So you believe you're a Hebrew Israelite, you believe you are an Egyptian, you believe you are a Arabized Muslim, you believe you are from Nigeria because you took a DNA test and it said that 60% of your DNA is Nigerian or Mali or whatever. You believe all of these things. The other thing that you also believe that's dangerous is that no one can contest those mob psychology, propaganda, systematic assaults upon your head because you don't see it as that. You see it as verifiable information. And who is this guy, me, or any of the people who are around us? Who are you? What are your credentials to challenge those particular things? Let me state loudly and clearly, that is your problem. That is not ours. It is your problem. Most people believe because they are a majority, they are correct or more effective. Majority of the people took the inoculation. A majority of them don't know that there are HIV proteases inside of it. The majority of them don't know there was a panic because of all of the positives that were coming off, so much so that the National Institute of Health had to address it. So majority does not mean correct. Majority does not mean functional. Majority does not mean effective. It just means many people and nothing else. And so we're having this conversation so we can ground you in identity and then talk about those things. Because if you only know Genesis through Revelation, Al-Fatihah to Al-Nas, the pyramid text, the Odu of the Ifa tradition, you still don't know your ancestors' real history. I need you to think about that very deeply. That's all right. You know what I'm going to do on Sunday? I'm going to do a whole live and prove. Hit the like button. Get these folk up in here. Bring your cousin up in here. Because Sunday, I'm going to do a whole live proving if you took the inoculation, you have these HIV proteases in it, that the person who won the Nobel Peace Prize, you want to talk about credentials, right? The person who won the Nobel Peace Prize for inventing the thing that we use to identify a virus, Dr. Kary Mullis. Dr. Kary Mullis won the Nobel Peace Prize for inventing polymerase chain reaction. It is a test. I have PCR devices in this house. It's a very simple machine, but it's used to test viruses. Don't you know that the same person who invented the thing that you use to see viruses has publicly stated, and for the sake of YouTube, if you strike this video and you don't go back and look at what I am saying, that means you are wrong. Dr. Kary Mullis said there has never, Never, never been any time that there was a virus called HIV isolated and identified. So HIV is not, I repeat, is not a virus. According to the person who developed the test and won a Nobel Peace Prize with the development of the test that tests for viruses. A protease enzyme is not a virus, but it can have the same effect through transcription and translation into your cell's DNA and your cell's tissues. So here's the thing I'm trying to say, and this is I'm going to be big on this tonight because I'm about to make some announcements. Don't walk around acting like you know shit that you don't know. Reading is not how you know something. Study is not even how you know something. That's information. I keep telling people the accumulation of information is not the same thing as knowing something. That's two different worlds. And so knowing is a whole circuit of experimentation and awareness. If the language is off or not understood, there's no coherence, no comprehension, no understanding, no awareness. And so what I'm saying to those people is if your cousin, your grandma, your uncle, whoever took the inoculation is willing to sit on a live, bring all their questions, send the link to their doctor, I guarantee you there is not one doctor alive who will combat it because it was biochemists and credentialed people who I used to make that little 8-minute video to tell you that. All of y'all have HIV. I didn't do that to myself. You did. So, Sunday, if your family got time, let them come to this page. They can go to any one of the social media. You see it here. All the social media is right here. They can come to YouTube, IG. They can come to X or whatever. All y'all got HIV. So much so that the National Institute of Health had to do a whole addressing of the situation. And their presumption, let me tell you what I'm going to be honest with you. Their presumption was, well, they're getting positive tests, but these are false positives. So you know what you do when you get a false positive, right? You take it again. Nowhere in the study are they showing that they went through clinical trials. You have preclinical trials with animals, clinical trials with humans. Nowhere in the study are they showing that they went through clinical trials and did retests on the people and they had negatives. But they had to address it. You can Google it right now, National Institute of Health. Now, what does this have to do with the lecture tonight? I guarantee you, you don't not understand how I can tie the fact that you took the vax to the underworld of Xibalba. They're directly connected. Even the name itself, Xibalba, means she, universe, or world. Some people say place. It's not a place. The she represents an identity, but it also represents a system. And it represents a tree. All right? The cacao tree. And it's tied to the solstice. It's all tied together. But Xibalba means a world of fear. A world of fear. That's what made you take the inoculation. Because it's no way you really understand what mRNA is. You don't understand that. Not that you can't understand it, but to understand it fully is not you just reading a book. You're afraid. And when niggas are afraid, they are useless. Put my headphones on, because now we're about to go in. You're useless. You're useless. You're useless. You're afraid you're useless. By the way, let me go to my announcements now. Because now we're about to talk about useless niggas. Yeah, not you can get mad at me all you want. I'm about to talk about the useless niggas now. So announcements. What we got going on? For those of you in the tribe, we are still going to publish the app. I got my credentials as an Apple developer, but then I don't because they didn't finish the process. So they got me waiting on that, but we have another way to bypass that to get the apps up and operating. So that's an important part. But so we got that going on December. So let's go. We got the Ramadan ball coming up. Let me share it. Flyer for the Ramadan ball. Let's talk about fear. Let's talk about fear. Look at this. So every year we do an indigenous ball, and couples come, families come. We're celebrating the fast in December. We're celebrating the solstice. We're celebrating what we call the Sirius Ascension, which is not some spooky, spiritual, weird. Y'all know how y'all get. This ain't Woodstock, nigga. We don't do that. Sirius is an actual star. And what you're calling New Year's is a Masonic overlay of the holy days of indigenous peoples. So January 1st is the day that we venerated the star. It's all throughout your Bible. In literature in indigenous civilizations, way before you had a Bible. But every year we do the ball. So put a 1 in the chat on Facebook. Put a 1 in the chat on YouTube. Put a 1 in the chat on Instagram if you come into the ball. Now, if you are national, let me address this. I got this because we're talking about Xibalba, the place of fear. Remember this now. See, indigenous people are real practical. People want stories that take them into a belief. Xibalba, it has nothing to do with belief at all. Even though it has these stories about whom came, which is one death or son death. And yeah. Wakab came, 7 death or Neptune death. This is about fear. It's grown men. Look, let me tell you now, this is the time where we're celebrating, right? We're celebrating culture. We were talking about this earlier. What is the culture? I remember being young. Saturday morning, we at grandma's house. Everybody ate breakfast. There was 9 of us at that grandma's house, and we had other grandma up the street with all my other cousins. Way more than us. Way more. We eat breakfast. We outside. I'm talking about, I remember this 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way up till I graduated from high school. We outside, miles away from our parents. Come back home with a street light. Everybody have a code. Fear. It's grown-ass men that are scared to ask a woman on a damn date to a ball for their tribe. Xibalba. The world of fear. So when you study Xibalba, all decapitation is happening. Niggas is getting hit up with knives. What were they trying to convey? First of all, those stories got watered down later when the Popol Vuh and other stuff got published. But the original stuff on monuments, etc., is telling you. It's telling you who you are. You are afraid. Imagine that now. You a grown ass man. Matter of fact, here's the question that I can ask. We got a whole bunch of brothers in the tribe. How many of y'all are not coming to the ball and not bringing a woman? You are testifying that you have no testicles. Because this is the time to turn up. Everybody be turned up online, turned up here, turned up there, turned up. You can't, it's free. Anybody charge? You can't say I'm trying to coax you into coming because, I want money from you, or that the board or anybody in the tribe want money from you. It's free. So if you have a lady or a woman and you not inviting her to the ball, do you know how she looks at you? Huh? Do you know how she looks at you? Like, you're not even gonna ask her to go? Damn, nigga. What, you gay? By the way, gay on YouTube means happy. That's the legal definition of gay. So happy is a code word for the night. Nigga, what is wrong with you? I have never been around men like this in my life. Never. I don't even know how this happened, actually. Meaning this in the world. I'm too goofy of an airhead Gemini to understand. Well, I do actually understand. I'm joking right now. But it's still baffling. Like, I was a teenager stepping to women like, yo, you going to the prom with me? Not asking like, yo, you going to the prom with me? So what's your excuse? Your excuse is Xibalba. You're actually afraid. How are you going to represent autonomy for Black men, for indigenous men in your own jurisdiction, and you can't even get a girl to go on a fucking date with you to a celebration that everybody said they took? Like, nigga, come on, nigga. I'm gonna give you the 1985 Eric B and Rakim scratch. Damn, nigga. This is embarrassing. You know what I'm gonna do? I have to actually ask permission for this. I'm gonna come in there with fucking 10 women, motherfucker. All y'all, come on, y'all with me tonight. I mean, ain't gonna be no crazy shit, not no Dr. York shit. But at least you got a date. Chief gave me a date to the fucking Ramadan ball because these niggas don't even want to ask anymore. Damn, nigga. I see what happened to Solomon. What's going on? Can't anybody explain it? Now, I'm using that example. I'm off of that now. Y'all know what time the ball is. It's 12:28. We're going to be turned up. We're going to be right here. Everything is going to be safe. The food is going to be good. The music is going to be good. Everything is we're just going to have fun. That's what we do at the end of the year. We went through a hellacious year. You celebrate. You have some damn fun. Y'all niggas don't even know how to find. So now here's the question. What the fuck you going to be doing then? You going to be home? You going to be working? Like, you're supposed to represent not being a slave. You're going to be working? You're going to be on your job? I don't want to hear nothing from nobody no more when it comes to men until you can show and prove. I don't want to hear shit, bro. Like nothing. Because we're about to talk about a whole culture of men who built things. Then they had the intelligence to tell stories that represented their culture and not let outsiders come in and control the narrative. Like being a man is fun, but being a man is also very serious. Especially when you're in a world where there has been architected a system to diminish your indigenous I can't even say it. There's a word that they say in international law. Indigenosity, whatever the hell they say. Anyway, your indigenous identity, bro. Like, don't you feel disrespected? I wonder how many people, when they call the president's ball or the inauguration or the Thanksgiving turkey cutting at the White House or whatever, the ball drop. I don't have a date. I can't come. Like and y'all act like it's not a lot of women in bro. It's a lot of women in the tribe. Like a lot. I just think it's weird for a grown man not to have a woman. That's what I think. It's weird. It's kind of weird. And see, in Arna, if y'all not all the way there where y'all want to be married, we are so dope. We have like these lawful, protected ways for y'all to still interact, even though y'all not married yet. We got maintenance contract, we got courting, we got all kind of ways that grown men and women can interact safely. So you can't use the fact that you're not married yet, that you're not bringing somebody. You can't use it. You can't use it, bro. So what I'm seeing is, and this is just from years, what I'm seeing in so-called black men is that y'all some pussies. Like if we got to talk about the underworld to get you excited and not jurisdiction and family, I was telling you who you are. Get mad at me. I don't care. Be mad. Stay mad. Stay mad. All right, time to go in nerd mode. Let's switch speeds. I got my intro off. Let's switch speeds. Because y'all will say you didn't even come and talk about the underworld. Let's talk about it. Pull up my notes. But before I do that, let's talk about this first. Let's talk about a little bit of identity so you know the people who you're talking about. Let's talk about identity. This will help. Now, I said at the beginning that the civilization we call She was not localized to Mexico. It spread north and south, but we're focusing on the north here. So far north that you find She ancestors, Mayan ancestors, linguistics, all the way up in Virginia. This is for all of the real pretendians, the $5 Indians who are trying to convince you that people like me hate Africa and we are ignoring genetic testing in order to create a fake identity and be a culture vulture. Because that's the way that they're coming at us. So I'm not going to run from it. I'm going to attack it head on. The Mayans showed you what they look like. Then the explorers came to the people I'm about to talk about and talked about how they looked. Then they had names for the tribes. And if these linguistics is synonymous, phenotypes are synonymous, you can learn genotype from phenotype. Genotype is genes. If there's a particular phenotype that's being described or portrayed, you can deduce with 100% accuracy that there are certain genes that have to be there. And there are only certain people who carry those genes in a certain way. Let's go right into it. Let's not waste time. Let's go right into it. Let's go right into it. So this is from the dissertation that I did called Are Black Americans Aboriginals or Africans? Aboriginal Americans or Africans? And I'm going through the data, all of it, genetic, historical, linguistic, documented interaction. And so take a look at it. This right here is from Linda Shelley's book on the Mayan glyphs. And it says the first of these is Powhatan, God in, page 100, reading the Mayan glyphs. That's Powhatan. Powhatan represents the 4 points, power, tune, 4 stones. These 4 stones represent many things. They represent the solstices and the equinoxes. The Mayans had the most advanced astronomical observation system in Earth history. This is scholastic talk, not me trying to big up anything. Here you have the same name, Powhatan, in Virginia. Powhatan Confederation had over 32 tribes, Pamunkey, all types of other tribes there. This is how they were described in the book Ancient America, New World Empires. By the way, that has a front piece, which I'm going to show, of a woman, feathered up, dark-skinned sister with white slaves holding her up in 1671. So this is the description that they gave for Powhatan, 1671. Then Powhatan, more like a devil than a man, with 200 more soldiers, as black as himself. I mean, do you need anything else at this moment? How did a Virginia chief get the same name as an Olmec Mayan glyph for an ancestor? Specifically, that deals with the most important part of the culture, which we're about to go into, the world tree, the calendar system, and Xibalba. I'm not making this up. Now go to a $5 Indian and get them to explain this. They can't explain it. Same way they can't explain this. The Yamasee were Negro. Yamasee is not the name of a tribe. Yamasee is the name of a medicine system. It's called Yapon leaf. And they controlled the medicine and the trade network all the way over to Louisiana. They were Negroes. The first depictions of them, we have them. All the southeastern tribes were Negro. All of them. They spoke a specific language. That language is documented. It was not Muskogean. Muskogean is a dialect of this original language. and it was a Mayan linguistic system. So don't get mad at me for pointing out the truth. Let's go into this and let's ask some questions. And we can probably get some good answers. Look at what they said now. I don't need to make nothing up. Let's look at it for what it is. 1 second. I'm pulling up my files. So let's read the top of this as well, because this is going to lead us into our conversation. We have to deal with identity first. According to the Bulletin of the Archaeological Society of New Jersey, issue 48, an article from one explorer, Daniel Denton, states, talking about these people, all right, their recreations are chiefly football and cards, at which they will play away all they have. They were gambling. Here, Denton confirms the origin of football and playing cards for Atlantic coastal aboriginals. Don't we play spades now? And your uncle, your cousin is in the NFL. Y'all watching the football games. It's still here. But now you're in Xibalba. You're in the underworld. You're in the underworld. See, you think the underworld is something that is not. After I explain to you what the underworld is, you're never going to be able to go outside and feel the same. I promise you. But I'm just documenting this and giving you source after source so you can see where football came from. Now I'm about to show you technically. Technically meaning so you can see it. Excuse me. Some of these other aboriginals. Look at the Mohawk. Tomochichi. We told you his name wasn't Tomochichi. I went to the statue down here and told you what his real name was. These are all the people. Look how they look. Look at the pictures. Virginia Indians. Right here. Here's the ball courts. Same game. And y'all thought some white boy made up basketball. Who are the rubber people? Where's it not the Olmecs? And they made rubber balls. How are you giving Naismith credit for creating a game that these people came as explorers? The people were already playing the games. As a matter of fact, a part of the Xibalba system is playing this game. It's not what you think it is. Basketball. So we got to look at Michael Jordan, Dr. J, Wilt Chamberlain in another eye. These are people who have things inside of their biology that is memory. You will never in your life have a pale man that can do anything that Wilt Chamberlain or Bo Jackson can do. He is a superposition of representation of what it's like to be a god in the circle of gods. That's what we will produce. You will never see a pale person that can do what Bo Jackson did. And I'm mentioning specific people. It's in our DNA. How are you playing basketball with a bunch of short $5 Indians, bro? Have you seen these $5 Indians, bro? Do they even look athletic? When is the last time you saw some $5 Indians playing spades and basketball, bro? They drinking Modelo's on the back of a truck looking for work. Y'all let people tell y'all anything. If you're a $5 Indian, I know y'all stalk me anyway, and you watching my channel, you know for sure your little short ass could not even reach this hoop. Look how tall, look how big the hoop is. Where is y'all Shaquille O'Neal? It's really funny for some of our people to let the world lie to them like this, knowing that they grew up with family playing spades and doing all these other things. They don't know where these things come from. Okay, you got to get some education on it. So Arna is here to deliver it to you academically, educationally. But you get the point that I'm trying to make. This is what they look like. This is your university, John Carter Brown Archives on Early Native Americans. I didn't make this shit up. Afro. This is the description in Delaware of what the people look like. Look how they dress, bro. Then by the time we go to the she, it's getting real dark skinned up in here. Like real dark skin and lucky. So let's go to the technical data. M1CR gene of the melanocortin system. This gene deals with giving you pigment like this. It is on position on. It's not methylated. It's not deleterious. It's not mutated. You don't have the copper transport genes to make hair like this. You don't have it. This is how they painted themselves. So now when I start talking about Xibalba, is it cultural appropriation in the sense of you calling me a culture? Imagine calling me a culture vulture. And you literally do not represent anything close to these people. So no, I don't want to sit in your ayahuasca rituals. No, I don't want to sit in your hape rituals. No, we don't want to fuck with you. You are Agent Smith, nigga. And some of you who don't even want to take your own women to a ball are an embarrassment. You give these people the leeway to say shit about us because you are underperforming. Otherwise, they wouldn't have shit to say to us. I don't care where they are, in academia, in an open debate in the public. They would have nothing to say to us. The reason why they have something to say to us is because we have breeded in weakness into our circle, and we need to eradicate that. So if you feel bad because I said that, okay, we're not on the same page. Let's keep going. Now I'm getting to Xibalba. Trust me. Give me a minute. America, Africa. 18th dynasty, or what they're calling 18th dynasty. Olmecs. Ica Museum, South America. Who taught us to do this and why did we do this? If you watch a baby when it's first born, it's skull is not closed yet. And if you were to look at it, it's divided into 4 sections with a little pulse that's pulsing. You know what that is? That is a part of the circle of Willis. That's the ankh that's inside of their head. It leads to the ventricles that actually house the thalamus, the pineal gland, etc. We did cranial elongation to keep it open. And by keeping it open, it literally made us more intelligent. It was just a style of body art that enhances intelligence. No, they weren't trying to copy the Greys. Now, that subject itself is a very complex subject. Cranial deformation, or cranial art, I should say. I don't want to call it cranial deformation like they're calling it. Cranial art. And if you don't understand it, because it takes awareness, it takes almost memory to understand why they did this. Hell, you might have a better memory if you could do this or something like it. We do all types of styles now. What made people get up and start breakdancing after they put break beats on spinning carbon, aka vinyl? And they started doing capoeira and call it breakdancing. Like literally, nobody went to the Bronx and these other areas and taught these people capoeira. But you start doing an ancient martial science from music. All I'm saying is that our ancestors were way smarter than these people. Some of them. And we used to be way smarter than these people all the way past the Civil War. People keep thinking that we lost this knowledge way back then. I can tell you my great-grandmother knew the same divination system as these people. I was little watching it, and I remember. The house is still there by Williams-Brice Stadium. All Southern hoodoo is she voodoo. And it's whack because people be trying to act like Haiti did something so great by overcoming the French in their war. And the Haitians, y'all come here to our land. No disrespect, because we literally are all brothers and sisters in the Caribbean and in North America. But the people in the Caribbean be having this like superiority complex because they are dumb about our history. When in fact, the Haitians, after they got rid of, before they got rid of the French, came here at the Battle of Savannah and helped white people try to fight us in the Southeast. See, I don't be like most other people, perpetrating and set tripping. These are memories. The reason why we have problems with each other is because our ancestors had problems with each other and we're not talking about them. But they are literally recorded into our bodies. We call it genetic memory, epic memory, etc. It doesn't matter. My point is we have to know history. We did not lose until after the Civil War. But my great-grandmother and my great-great-grandmother, they used to put in that work. Down south, we call it putting a root on you. Where did they learn that? Because now I had to go back as a grown adult and try to figure out where they learned that from. This was not in books in the way that we reading books now. This was handed down. And so all I'm trying to say is that we are overqualified to stand in the position of who we are. And we affected the world. We showed you the video with Ramesses II, who had a highly elaborate scan done on his body in order to see what he intook while he was alive. And they found a whole bunch of cocaine, hape, and cacao in his body. He's from Egypt, bro. None of them grow there. None of them grow there. But you're going to see cotton right here in the Mexican codices. The Spanish came and they said the people was growing cotton, had fields of cotton, and you think you got on a cotton field through slavery. When I showed you the largest plantation in the history of Georgia only had 49 slaves. And they came in the late 1800s, 1840s. The first plantations were ran by us, right? And white people came over here working these plantations. Bacon's Rebellion. See, the thing that attracted me most about history is I like stories, one. And two, I was amazed when I would read stuff that people was not reading. I started reading when I was 3 years old, bro. And so by the time I got 8 or 9 years old, I realized that people were dumb and they didn't read. My father was giving me all kinds of books. And I'm like, oh, the adults don't read. By the time I was a teenager, bro, it was over. I was sitting around like, most humans are dumb, even the teachers. I was a nuisance in college. I'm only showing you what you should put your value in. You put your value in money, right? And the only people who put their value in money, I'm going to tell you who put their value in money. I'm going to tell you. The only people who put their value in money is niggas who never had it. That's one. And niggas who have no purpose. Money is easy to get, but it's easy to make an idol. And what is happening to people is they're not putting value in what. See, they think this right here is the nigga trying to be online, trying to talk smart. I get accused of that on Facebook by these people. Our people. And I'd be like, So gathering wisdom from your ancestry at a time where it's under assault, organizing it into systems of education for men, women, and children, publishing over 40 books in order to re-educate a people who are mentally dead, organizing it into an online university so people can get credentialed and get the opportunity to participate in entrepreneurship in those fields is trying to be cute online. Like, bruh, I be looking at these niggas like, oh, I see what's happening here. You're in Xibalba. We getting there. I dare a $5 Indian to come up here and say this is them. They're serving, you know what they serving? They serving the cacao. Now let's go into the last part of this. Don't take my word for it. Y'all want to talk about Egypt and Hebrew isms and Moorish isms. The reason why I talk about the Moorish history so much is because they wrote a lot and it's recent. And we did admix with them. There's thousands of years of it. How do you think Ramesses II came over here with all this cocaine, cacao, and hape up in his body? Ramesses II was not afraid to come to the indigenous ball. He got on a motherfucking Egyptian boat, rode across the ocean to party with some fine-ass American women. Your ass live in America and can't get on a damn bus or plane or in a car to come to your own tribal Xibalba. Xibalba. Your name is Xibalba. I see this all the time. I'm going to start calling names. We just going to have to fight. We had an event just a few, maybe last month, November. This is a free event, right? This is a free event. Xibalba. I'm about to go to Xibalba. I'm telling you, you think Xibalba is a story about the mind. Xibalba is a living reality. 9 layers, 9 worlds. The underworld. This is how you can figure out how niggas really think. November, we do a whole free bioscan event. Free. Not free for me, though. Free for the community. Because I got to pay for this shit. So, bioscans, everything. We get the people out there. Sweet, lovely event. I had one knuckleheaded Negro who was mad because he could not make money for the event directly from me. And so, even though he's in a position to help people as a person who was placed there, he gets upset. Now he don't want to come. Ali, why are you talking about people? Because niggas need to be talked about. They don't get it when you tell them directly. Like, that is some clown Xibalba shit. Y'all don't want to solve the problem? Look at these people. You claiming these are your ancestors. Look at what white people had to say about them. I'm putting it into perspective. The perspective is real niggas do real shit. When it's time to perform, we step up. And then you can have people reading about you like they're reading about this. Look at what they're saying. Each of the years called a tune, power tune, right? By the Maya. Now the tune are 52. This is the cards. 52 cards that you have in a card deck. It comes from our ancestors' calendar. That's why they were in the 1600s playing cards when the white folks came here in football. Spades is not just spades. It's your culture. Called a tune by the Maya in these dates is composed of 360 days. If we return to the creation date, this is how long they said it, the creation date. With its 20 cycles set at 13, we see that it will take 41 octillion, 943 septillion, 40 sextillion tunes or years for the highest cycle to change from 13 to 1. Oh my God. So this is the calendar. This is not Egyptian writing. All these people, this is Tamerica. This is Tameri. Motherfucker, this is not Egypt, bro. The only reason you want to copy something is because a Mason told you that and you don't know how to vet information. Institutions, dissertations, discipline, jurisdiction. It changes outcomes. You want to stay in Xibalba, though. This is your history. I had to do the identity thing so you could see. Like, this is not some fake shit. This is real. All the way to St. Tammany, and you see him standing on that turtle. This language right here is not Egyptian, bro. This is not Egyptian. You got literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands, maybe even a few million now, who actually believe that Egypt is fake. This is the real Egypt. It's all in the Grand Canyon. They never been, they never seen it. And this is Tartaria. They went for all of the agent talk because they are not organized and they're in Xibalba. We're about to show you what Xibalba is. All right, so this is a whole discussion. Now, this is where I wanted to go. I told you that the Shi have the most observed, meticulous astronomical data out of any civilization ever on Earth. All right, and so let's go. There are 4 codices that survived the European book burnings that were exclusively authored by the Shi. Other later codices were the works of the Aztec and the Church, keeping records of the events surrounding their invasions and the general culture they witnessed. The surviving codices were the Dresden, the Paris, the Grolier, and the Madrid codices, named after the places people they show up in where they were purchased in those markets. So we know the exact timing of the authorship of the codices based on the astronomical tables. So we don't have to guess. The books kept a record of when they were written based on the calendar system. Unlike these so-called Dead Sea Scrolls, where we don't have no dates on nothing. Matter of fact, a sheep herder found it. We know that they charted Orion as they label it the 3 heart stones. So the reason why Orion being charted is important is because in the sky, Orion is on the sky's what you call the celestial equator. We're just dealing with low-level astronomy. Don't get intimidated. Orion is the equator in the sky. So you have to find where Orion is in order to map the sky, just like you do GPS in the sky, but in the sky. They also track the pole stars. They track the pole stars because Draco, the dragon or the great serpent, is Kukulkan or Amaru, the constellation that never sets. And this gives you the precession of the equinoxes, the 25,000-year cycle. This is why when people who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or the Supreme Wisdom, and they talking about the 25,000-year cycle, they thinking that is something from the holy city Mecca. Are you kidding me, bro? That shit is not from no goddamn holy city Mecca. It was nothing over there in that dusty ass place. That is from America. The first people to chart the 25,000-year cycle are right here in our backyard. Our direct ancestors. Tefar did not go to Mecca to raise the dead. He came to the West. He knew exactly where the people were. So here we have the precession of the equinox. If you've never heard that before, you can get a little bit of understanding. And so this is connected to the power ton. This is connected to the world tree. This is connected to the whole system of calendar counting. This is connected to the winter solstice. That's where I'm going. Because the winter solstice was a celebration for the Shi because it represented the sun rebirthing after the longest night of the year. So you can look this up. You'll see all the Mayan celebrations that they did on the winter solstice. So when we're doing the winter solstice fast and we're doing the ball and we're connecting it to what the Moors did, you have to understand the origin before there was ever a Moor ever on earth came from here. And I'm not delineating and separating the people to confuse you. I'm giving you proper chronology. There was no such thing as a Moor until much later. There was no such thing as Egypt. I'm about to prove it to you from this book. We can tell you when Egypt came about. And then all of the people who founded Egypt, Asar, Aset, Set. What do they keep saying? We are Kinti Amintui. Kinti Amintui means what? Foremost of the Westerners. Then I showed you the real man who was the angel who revealed the book. The real man who is Ahmed of the Quran said the same thing. A man from the Maghrib taught me, from the West. Y'all not picking up on this. The West is the sacred place where all of the pre-Atlantean wisdom was. This is it. It's not spooky. We can prove it. We're proving it with the calendars. Go find 41 octillion in anybody's calendar. Because by the time I get to Xibalba, you're going to be like, wait a minute. What did you say, bro? And it's going to make sense. And when you can prove this by looking at your own life. What I'm about to say. But I'm working my way there. All right. So you're talking about the position of the sun. All right. See, this is right here. This is Draco. All right. Little in the Big Dipper. And it goes in this little circle every 25,000 years. A little wobble. So you know now why Kukulkan is the feathered serpent. The feathers represent flight, aerial flight. It represents the pole star. It represents this serpent in the sky because the stories were written from the stars and the stars were written from the stories. You're going to get it in a minute. Somebody, I made a post yesterday and I said that, don't you know that every atom of iron, the element iron, that is in your body, matter of fact, let's just not do your body. That's in every plant, that's in every animal, that's in your body, and that's under the ground. Every piece of iron came from the sun. That is a fact. He thought I was trying to be internet smart. No, I'm trying to teach your stupid ass something, nigga. So not only do we get impacted by the sun can literally use its radiation to interact with our skin to generate a hormone from a lipid layer under our skin called cholecalciferol, and it travels to the liver and starts the synthesizing of what you know as vitamin D3. That all happens based on radiation from a star. You don't understand how much chemistry is impacted by that star. By the way, is happening the other way too, which means we impact the sun. That's why you have in your body a particular thing in your biology called a gap junction. Look it up. And these ligands or receptors, ion receptors, ligand operated ion receptors, metals, sodium, potassium, iron, calcium, they run neurons and they run your whole body. But they're wireless, dummy. Not you, dummy. The guy who was on the post trying to tell me, oh, you don't know, you just out here trying to sound smart. Motherfucker, everybody trying to sound smart. I'm trying to tell you, you are literally wirelessly connected to the sun. And the reason why you need to know that is because of what Xibalba really represents. You need to know your culture. So when we're celebrating Christmas, people don't know that this is supposed to be a solstice celebration, and the rebirth of the sun, the star, is your rebirth. You are tethered to the star. God damn it. That's why you wake up when it comes up and you go to sleep when it goes down. And it's not that the star is controlling you, it's that you created the star to do that. Now you got to deal with the fact that you are writing your own movie and your own play, but now you have given the pen over to someone else. Because the whole discussion tonight on the winter solstice, the she and the Xibalba. The fear is the fact that you don't want to be the creator of your own destiny, but yet you still are. So in your default mode, where you are not taking control of your life, your discipline, and all the things that can get you in a grounded state, by not taking over that, you give that up. You acquiesce that. And by acquiescing it, now you're in Xibalba. Everybody goes to the underworld, but everybody don't go to Xibalba. You're in a place of fear, bro. And that is not a good place to be, because you got to fake it. And guess what? Guess what? You can't fake out the people who are awake, who are aware. The only people that you can fake out are the dead ones. You're a vampire. Don't like the sun. Give your ass some terpenes, garlic. Start tripping. The stories are there. This is real astronomy. You can think I'm talking shit, but you can literally go outside and look at this. You want a book and a degree. You want a professional to come and tell you this. You can go outside and look at what I'm saying right now. You can go buy a telescope for $25 and you can get your ass outside and you can see these pole stars. You can see these constellations up in the sky. And every point, at every time of the year, they never disappear. They're constellations that leave your sight. These never disappear. They are kukulkan. They are feathered serpents. And if you don't want to acknowledge the fact that I'm giving you the absolute truth, let me put it in stone for you, just so you can see it. Then you can also decouple your mind away from these things that you believe are true that are not true. This is the monument 19 from Lavinia. I'm going to give you the scholarship. That's what you want. What's that above his head? Kukulkan. What do you see right there? The signs of Powhatan. Look at him. What is he holding? He's actually holding a closed magnet. And so now you're going to learn what Powhatan really means. Because yes, you're dealing with the Great Four, but now we're also dealing with magnetism. We're dealing with travel. Here we go. Into the underworld. We're dealing with the fact that you thought this was the Confederate flag and y'all need to take these flags down and these are white people who make me sick. This is not the Confederate flag. This is the Confederate flag. This is the Dixie flag that represented the 10 tribes that they were trying to get in association with them to fight. Didn't work out that way, though. This is the Maroons. This is the Great Dismal Swamp. This is the 200,000 black men that were going to come into Atlanta to take over the whole city, and Atlanta was key. That's why William Tecumseh Sherman came here. But this is lineage. That's Kukulkan right there. I just showed you the feathered serpent. We don't have to make nothing up. It's there. It's there. It's written in stone. Kukulkan is also the feathered serpent. Most people don't know there's no such thing as a dinosaur. They were all birds. That's why the bird is considered still the surviving member of the dinosaur family today. Yeah, macaws, birds, all of them. They are. But you just didn't know that dinosaurs had feathers. They're reptiles with feathers, just like birds. So Kukulkan shows you how old the people are. I showed you that actual studies that proved and preserved through even the fossils that they found, dinosaurs had feathers. Feathered serpent. Kukulkan. They're telling you how old the people are. No, we're not done yet. Because we got to get to Xibalba. I see the reason why you are afraid because you are unaware. And because you don't know your history, you don't know, you're not aware of the things that you need to be aware of, you can only be afraid. Because what stories are guiding you? That's the Dresden Codex. All right, let me find my next one. Here we go. They tried to tell me, oh, wait a minute. This book is fake. It was a guy who faked this book. Or faked the stones that made this book. Here are the stones right here. Yeah, that's the telescope. So I had to write, when I bought, this book was not available in America. When I got the book, many eons ago, I had to write in Spanish to the Cabrera Museum to get the book. That's him signing my book right there. But anyway, this has the oldest map in the world in it. Let me show you the oldest map in the world, then I'm going to verify it. So when I was first showing this stuff, people were like, oh, it's showing that fake stuff. It's fake. It's fake. This is North America. This is South America. This is West Africa when it was detached from the rest of Eastern and Southern Africa. This map is 13,000 years old. This is a continent that they said sunk in the Pacific. So when I first used to show this, they were like, oh, you following James Churchward and the New Agers? I was like, bro, nobody following these folks. I knew what I was looking at. James Churchward didn't have access to these things at Cabrera Museum. This is South America. See, this is North America. This is the oldest map in the world. How we know the stones are authentic is because the Spanish, when they first came, they witnessed the stones. Not only that, you can calculate based on prediction. So we know for a fact that even if you try to say that these were fake, you're saying they were fake before a time where anybody knew plate tectonics. These maps preserve plate tectonics to the point where they point out unique features in West Africa, which most of us don't know, that West Africa has an entire fault line that separates it from the west of Eastern, Northeastern, and Southern Africa. And that this continent sunk. Here it is right here. It's called Xibalba. Here it is right here. Right for you. Xibalba is the 8th continent in the Pacific that is no longer with us. Look at the study. Am I making it up? You telling me that I use AI to make this up? Go check it then. Check it right now. Check it live. This map is real. Let me show you the progressions of the map. North America, South America, sunken continent in the Pacific, West Africa, the rest of Africa, Asia, Australia, and the islands that became Japan. What do we have here? Oh, this is modern archaeology. Now, let me show you how stupid these people are. Gondwana is supposed to be millions, billions, whatever years old. No, this shit right here should only be between 50,000 and 13,000 years old. And we can calculate it. You see this line right here? That line is the line that separates West Africa from the rest of East Africa. D is the island. F. This was the Great Empire. This was Atlantis. And this was where they went to after the cataclysm or the bottleneck. Y'all went to school for all that time in geology. They didn't teach y'all shit. And I guarantee you there's no one who is an archaeologist can argue with indigenous history. It's just too smart. Here's the progression. Original. Y'all think that plate tectonics are natural. They're not. The earth never had plates. It gained plates after a cataclysm. North America, South America, sunken continent, West Africa, East Africa, North Africa, Asia, Asian Europe, Australia, and the islands. Look at how it separates. Boom, boom, boom. D comes over here. Yep, you got it. Now you see what D is, West Africa and Europe. Why you had the Holy Roman Empire and Europe being historically black and having Stonehenge and all of these Druidic and Celtic and Norse stories. These are all post-Atlantean stories about the world, the black world. Now you see Asia, and you see everything together now. This is the world right here. So now, without going through all this astronomy, this is what caused one of it. This crater right here that you see that was caused by this is what he's looking at. I showed you. This is what he's looking at. They mapped it out. We don't got to make nothing up. That's him. He's looking at it. So there's a lot here in this book. You can get this book online. I'll put the link in the chat. The oldest pyramids right here. The largest pyramids right here. This is the largest pyramid in the world. We know y'all came over here. This is the study from Balabanova that shows all the Egyptian mummies that had the cocaine, the cacao. See, I put shit in here in detail. I'm not going to let you come and try to debate us. You can't debate us. Because now we're about to go into the underworld. You see the prime meridian shifted from Cholula over here. Orion, that's the celestial equator. Why? I'm gonna show you why this is important. See, I'm not a nigga just up here trying to be smart. I'm telling you, this has nothing to do with that. But if you want to build technology, you have to know about the world around you. We have a spinning magnetic field around us that we're in every day, and we're looking at it the wrong way. This is why we have to make better children, because this is not for everybody. All right, so let me go on to my points. Underworlds. We found these pyramids and highlighted them from a paper. The Japanese knew about these pyramids that are underwater. Again, sunken civilization. The underworld. Now, you think the underworld is something that is not. I know you thinking that I'm about to say whatever. This is the proof that dinosaurs, here we go. Listen, I'm not going through all that, but let me go to my next few points. Hold on. So now, the oldest genes, oldest plants, oldest trees. I got all this stuff here. The oldest 12 oldest trees are here. This is leading me to Xibalba. This is the place that they fear, and is a place of fear. Why do you fear this place? Why do you fear the West? Ask Anubis. Anubis, oh great guardian of the Neb. Why do they fear the West? Fear the West because if the West is discovered, their whole world goes into Xibalba. The oldest genes in the world. AOOA. There's nobody in Africa with this gene pool. The gene pool is all over South Carolina, Florida, Georgia. And look at Albert Perry. Where was Albert Perry born? Florida. 1816 or 1819. Florida was not even a part of the United States in 1816-19. Look at that right now. Albert Perry, the man with the oldest genes on earth, was born on Indian lands in Florida when the area was still under indigenous occupation and Spanish occupation. Go look it up. Florida became a state in like 1840s. Albert Perry was like 30 then. He had already moved to South Carolina. He literally lived in the city that I grew up in. And I know Perry's all over the place. You can't tell me this AOG. And he had several sons. Albert Perry lived in the 1800s. He had sons, grandsons, great-grandsons. They're all over Columbia. My point to you is once the West gets discovered, see, a lot of people like to try to diss Black people in North America. I noticed it. Africans, Caribbeans, it's crazy. The Caribbeans be acting up, and the Caribbean population literally was a result of wars where it was a slave trade. Slaves. I give an example. What I record in my book, They Lied About the Slave Trade, is that they took 17,000 Yamasee and took them to several different islands. Yeah. So your genetic association, your cultural association in the Caribbean is way closer to American than it is African. As a matter of fact, y'all went over there and fought Africans just like we did. The American Colonization Society took people to Liberia. The West Indian regiments in Jamaica took people to Ghana, and they started wars with the Ghanaians. Or the people who were there infiltrated them. So people from Jamaica be out here trying to say that they look like people from Ghana and they think they're from Ghana and Nigeria. Listen, y'all went and seeded those places literally in the 1800s. This just happened. Go look up the West Indian regiments. What are they? It's the Jamaican invasion of Ghana. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. My point is, quit trying to use the white man's stories in order to tell a Black reality. You will miss every time, nigga. Every time you're going to miss. Bad. Thinking you're hitting home runs. Y'all got corn porridge, we got cornbread. The connection is maize, corn. And so we need to understand culture. So I'm showing this right here to show you the oldest genes in the world come from the Americas. Go find the AOOA bloodline in Africa. It doesn't exist. As a matter of fact, I'm going to eat through you before you even get there and show you as a fact. This is the DNA study right here. And if you can't read it, I'll read it for you. The S&Ps in the Perry line do not match a Cameroonian AOO haplogroup. Here it is right here. These are the actual S&Ps or S&P profile. They're not the same. The blood type, the haplogroups are not even the same. So my point is, don't let these people lie to you. If you want me to debate your college professor or whatever, we can do that. We can have a live debate on whether or not Albert Perry was a slave. First of all, he was not a slave. He was born on Indian lands. There were no slaves on Indian lands. If you're saying that he got enslaved by an Indian tribe, guess what? We have records. You can prove it. And since he was in Spanish lands and he took on an English name, when did he take on the English name? He took on the English name when he got to South Carolina. That's why all of his records say South Carolina. He's reporting on, his son is reporting on his death certificate what his father told him when he grew up. He's from Florida. There were no Perrys in Florida in 1819. Just like my family name Counts. Counts is German. That's how I know what Europeans we were interacting with. It's Kunz. But the particular Germans, the Salzburgers, who came here with or to settle in Oglethorpe, Georgia, they didn't practice slavery at all. They were abolitionists. So when my family migrated to South Carolina and the Germans migrated to South Carolina, they changed their name, German name Kunz, to Counts, to anglicize it. There was never a Counts plantation in South Carolina. That's how I know my ancestors were never slaves on that side, on either side. And we can map the tribes that they were around, the Salzburgers. There were only 3, and they were part of the same Upper Creek Empire, the Yuchi and the Yamasee were those 2 main ones. And so my point to you is you cannot live off of a non-coherent thing that was not recorded into nature. The reason why we had to discover this is because other people, since post-Civil War, other people have been writing our story. How I know we were writing our story before is because I would have never known that there were secret groups of Black people who were using systems of communication, telegraphy, during so-called slavery to map out, strategically enact all of the rebellions, uprisings, etc. And white people knew where they were in these swamps and refused to go in. I'm going to say that again. You can look up the Great Dismal Swamp Maroons. There are dissertations on this. There are public YouTube videos on this. You can go research it. They knew exactly where these people were, and they refused to go down in these swamps to fight them. And the reason why they would not go down to fight them is because they actually tried and they failed several times. And it's called Southern Hoodoo. We'll smear you with doo-doo. So, if you understand Xibalba that I'm about to go into, you understand that you have to be the hero twins. Hunapu and Xibalba, the sun and the moon. That's the masculine and the feminine. That's so many things. That's family. That's your fulcrum. That's your recognizing of the first divine law of polarity that emerges from the light. Once you're there, you do not have to experience Xibalba. You could go to sleep right now and you could have nightmares, and I could tell you what vitamin that you're deficient in. Because you have nightmares. You might be co-signing your nightmares because of some spiritual, spooky idea that you have that you're doing something. I was astral traveling and I was fighting the demons. It's vitamin B6, by the way. Vitamin B6 is why you're having nightmares and why your dreams are not being used like they should be. Because dreams are a tool. We don't have to talk nothing spooky. You go to sleep for a reason. When you go to sleep, what's happening? Your body is in repair. Think about what I'm saying to you. Your body is in repair. And the reason why it needs repair is because in order for it to wake up, it needs that repair. If you do not sleep, right, guess what happens? I'll break it down to you. When you go to sleep, you activate something called the glymphatic system. Not the lymphatic system, the glymphatic system. We're about to go to the underworld, but I got to give you science to lead you in because I don't want to spook you out. The glymphatic system is a system that bathes the brain. It is an immune, electrical, circulatory, hormonal operating system. Where does the fluid come from for the brainwash at night? It comes from your cerebral spinal fluid, CSF, in your spine. What's unique about the spine when you deal with electricity? Well, it is an encasing of piezoelectric material, bone, over wires and cells that we call neurons. And the plexus network branches out to touch every organ in the body. Small intestines, liver, pancreas, etc. You have different plexuses. Thoracic plexuses, sacral plexuses. And this is called the afferent and the efferent system in the body. Why is this important? Well, that system communicates with every cell in the body. There's a whole communication network. So your brain is washing. So if that operation, if you're dehydrated, which means that you could be drinking water, but it doesn't mean you're hydrated. In order to be hydrated, your water must have electrolytes. An electrolyte that you're familiar with is salt. That's what hydrates you. It puts the sodium on the outside of the cell, the potassium on the inside of the cell, both as ions. And it pulls water into the cell. Without that, you can't get water in the cell. So I'm saying that to say, if you're dehydrated, you're in Xibalba. You're in a place of fear. If you're not cleaning your brain every night, you're in a place of fear. You're tired. You're stressed. You're not getting good sleep. And if you deprive yourself of sleep, you would die. You could die from a peripheral issue. Oh, he got a stroke out of nowhere. Glymphatic system not working. So sleep has a purpose. Sleep is to do what? Regenerate you, heal you, so you can wake back up and have equilibrium when you wake up, meaning now, just as the day before, you have refurbished all of your systems properly. And now you can get up and do the things that you need to do. But when you get up and you achy, my knees hurt, I can barely get out of the bed. I don't want to get out of the bed. I'm going to stay here all day. I need some coffee. Xibalba. So now, I told you last week that prayer is the cousin of dreams and dreams and sleep is the cousin of death. Xibalba. So Xibalba is the place of death, but only the hero twins can make it through. This is Popol Vuh. We can go to all the monuments. As a matter of fact, let me do that real quick. Let me run you through my notes so you don't accuse me of being spooky. Let me run you through my notes. Let's go. Just so you can see that I did take notes. And I'm academically prepared to deliver the subject as well as to talk my shit. So what are the primary sources on Xibalba? Popol Vuh. This is post-colonization, though. This is what it's talking about. The hero twins, the lords of Xibalba, the trials of the underworld, the structure and geography of Xibalba, the defeat of his ruler. You have to defeat the rulers of fear. Dresden Codex, Madrid Codex, Paris Codex, Book of Shilam Balam. So, got that text. Then we got the monuments. Copan Stele, Coringa Stele, Yaxchilin lintels, San Bartolo murals, Izapa Stele 25, Palenque, y'all know that, Bonham-Peck. So my summaries. Epigraphy, all the gods, the 9 lords of the night, all of this. So you see, I'll put this in the indigenous group so you can see what this is about. Because we go from the winter solstice where we're celebrating the ascension of the sun, but the sun is going through the underworld too. The night of power, Laylat el-Qadra, the winter solstice, one of the 4 power tons, is accessing through Xibalba. But you go to Xibalba every night. You in Xibalba during the daytime sometimes. You have to know what Xibalba is. What is Xibalba? Logographic. So let's go back to the point. Let me come off of this. Let's go back to the point. Xibalba, let's use one reference for Xibalba. Let's use the reference of sleep. What is sleep for? Sleep is to give you energy, whatever, but you have dreams. You see things in your sleep. Your sleep is access to your underworld. When you sleep, you got to lay down horizontally. You are unconscious. Now, let me ask you a question. Can you hear in your sleep? In the sense of, have you had conversations with people in your dreams? Yeah. You might have talked to your mom, a dead relative, whatever. You heard what they said and everything. Let me ask you a question. If you heard what they said, was that somebody speaking or was that your mind creating the sound? Did your mind create the sound of what you heard while you were asleep? Did you see the person? Your eyes was closed, nigga. Did you see the person? Did you sit down in a dream? Were you ever in a car in a dream? You were driving the car. So the senses that you have, sight, smell, hearing, You have those same senses when you're in your dream state. Because you can wake up, listen to what you can do. This is things we take for granted. You can wake up and you can describe events, people, places, and things that you went, colors, sounds, smells, and everybody who's in the house know your ass is up there laid out with your eyes closed, nigga. So now I'm going to go somewhere else. What about death? You have heard me tell you, and I'm going to start amplifying this now. Death is a hyperdimensional dream state. Same way when you go to bed, you dream about, let's say you had the TV on, right? If you have the TV on, sometimes you're dreaming, but you're dreaming what the TV is playing. That's your brain able to pick up, even though you're unconscious, on what's playing on the TV and program it into a story. So your brain can still do things. You think your brain is doing it, but we're just going to get there. We'll say your brain right now. The same thing happens when you die. You take all of you talk all of the Akashic record. No, it's just memory, just like on a DVD. You take all of that with you in a hyperdimensional dream state until you incarnate again. Now, you might say that's spooky. It can't be proven scientifically. Oh, yes, it can actually. So, but I'm just giving you the thesis because I got to tell you what Xibalba is. Inside of Xibalba, the Popol Vuh states basically that Hunahpu and Xibalba have the sun and the moon, the twins, have to overcome the 9 gods of death. I have shown you the periodic table. I'm going to show it to you again. Our periodic table. All right. Let me show you this. I'll give you 4 of them. There are 10 generations, though. 10 generations of particles in creation. We're just talking. Let me show you what I'm showing you what I'm about to show you, because this is going to make sense to you. I promise. You're not going to miss this. It's a technical point, but you're not going to miss it. There's a reason why I'm saying this. All of it has to do with how good your tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next 7 years, next 28 years. All of it has to do with how that's going to come about. What's going to happen in your life. That's what I'm getting to. So please don't think I'm not having a practical moment here. All of what I say is always practical. I don't believe in talking to people and wasting their motherfucking time talking some shit that means nothing. Even though it sounds like it means something, it don't mean shit. So here, what do you have here? This is a part of the periodic table. This is only 4 generations of particles. That's okay. There are 10 generations of particles. When I say generation, I'm meaning this row where you have a noble gas, which I'm calling the inert gas, and you have elements on the periodic table. Here you have lithium, beryllium, boron, which you're calling carbon-10, carbon, C14, or nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. And so if you follow this, it would look like the regular periodic table. But there are 10 generations. There's one generation, this one, the 5th generation, that is the basis of our world. Meaning without the 5th generation, you cannot have bacteria, plants, animals, and humans. You can have single cell particles of any form, whether it be chloroplast, whatever. They happen in the 5th generation. The other particles are still here. You can go in the ground to get cobalt, but it has not produced the type of sentient life that we are familiar with. So my point is, subtract 1 from 10, which is our generation of particles, and you have 9 left. The other 9 are the 9 levels to Xibalba. So what am I explaining now? What I'm explaining is that what these particles represent, you're only looking at 4 generations of them. They represent transmutation of all atomic chemistry in the universe. Only one of them gives you the world of sentient things like plants, animals, and bacteria. The other 9 are also states of consciousness. So, for example, when you die, your body will begin to break down. The thing that breaks down last is the bone. Also, there are particles that escape your body. We call them inert gases. They're in the sky. So part of you is in the ground, part of you is in the sky. Or what used to be you. The question is it transmuting intelligence? And the answer, the easy answer is yes. The difficult answer is how. And you are in that dream state until you incarnate again. But the problem is you're going to inherit, just like the dream that you're having. If your B6 is down and you got to get that right. And if your glymphatic system is not working, when you get up the next day, you're going to feel worse. So I'm 50 years old. I'm going to get up tomorrow. I'm going to feel real good. I'm on Lotus right now. I'm going to feel real good. Every day, I don't even know what it's like to have an ache, except for when I play football. But it wasn't an age-induced ache. My point is, you go through Xibalba every night, but you go through it at any stage of what you're calling unconsciousness, including death. And just like when you wake up from the dream state, how you lived that day, the stress that you had, whether you exercise, whether you took care of your body, all of that comes with you. So that if you're not getting your deep sleep, you're not getting your proper vitamins so that your body can have the things that it needs in order for you to get deep, rested sleep. You don't go through the glymphatic cycle. You wake up a little bit worse. Every time your dumb ass come and incarnate on this planet, have a fucked up life, you are literally coming back more fucked up. You'll be worse every time. Now we got to talk grown. I led you up to the door. See, the Mayans or the She are not normal people. Just like Black Americans are not normal. We are exceptional regardless of who we are, where we are. We're different than other people on this planet. And I don't care who acts like it ain't the truth. It is the truth. It is not the fact that we are better per se, because I have to qualify that. It's just that we are the most unique people on earth. Not even close. I don't play those little games where we play fake equality. No, we play observation and we play assessment of observation. We are the most unique people on earth. And that's because of our lineage. But we also have the most unique tradition because our unique tradition and stories tells everything. Meaning, I'm at the periodic table right now talking about Xibalba, but what I can break down is the fact that you are a product of the transmutation of elements. That is a fact. It is a fact that the iron in your body and the iron in the earth and the iron in the plants around you came from the local star. That is a fact. It is a fact that metals deal with conduction. It is a fact. The fact that you are listening to me right now, you are using one of the elements on this table right here on computer chips with some doping of this one and others so that you can have wireless communication with me. Hold on. Let me break this down to you so that you can see how magical the world is that you're in. You're watching me live. I was just having this conversation with baby the other day. You're watching me live, right? You have an internet service provider. They have a modem in your house. The modem is plugged up. Your phone might not be. You could be watching me on this right here device. You could be literally watching me right here. There are no wires anywhere in this. You believe. I have to say this, and I'll bring any IT person anywhere. You believe, I mean, you actually believe this. I need you to understand how stupid this is. You believe that the signal is coming to you how? Because we got to talk about Xibalba, and I want to make sense and show you have superior stories. Therefore, you will know how to live better. And you won't be thinking that Jesus is going to get you. The devil is going to get you. Hell no, you're going to get yourself every time. You are going to get yourself every time. So how does the phone work? How are you seeing me right now? Let's use radio and then work our way up. Turn on the radio, right? You got a big ass antenna in your car, or used to have it that way. It's different now, right? You got digital. But anybody who's old enough, you remember the RF frequency had it so that you had an antenna in the car. And when you turned on the radio, turn to the station, right? But if let's say you went under a bridge, signal's out. Why is the signal out? You have a physical barrier. These are waves being propagated out, and your device, radio at the time, can pick up on that frequency. Literally, each station is tagged to a particular frequency, and you have to tap into that frequency in your vehicle. And it has to be within a certain range of distance. If you're riding and you keep riding, you're going to ride out of the RF frequency. That's not how the internet works, bro. So you're going to have to give me another explanation. And it's not working in the way that people are telling you. I'm going to tell you how it works. Every event is broadcast in the universe when it happens everywhere else. That's the secret of the light field. Meaning it's happening everywhere, and you are the localized superposition. That's the simplicity. And so what this device is really doing is capturing the light moment of that thing, storing it, right? We're saving a file. And now we want to go communicate with a server, whatever server it may be. Let's say Facebook. We want to post our video. What is our video? By the way, it's saved on our phone. What is it? It's binary. It's code, right? No, it's not binary. It's electricity. It's an electrical state. You're transferring an electrical state of memory to someone else's server, right? So that they can communicate it to everybody. So this is telling you can store information and share it, and you're not sharing it over a broadcast. You're literally using light field technology. And light field technology is practical. Let me explain this another way so you can really get it. Me talking about the dreams, right? Me talking about death. I'm telling you, you are just like the video that you saved. Your life is saved. It's recorded. And it's transferable. The images, the memory of who and what you are is recordable. And without going way off into the periodic table that we use in think tanks, we know exactly what particular things record on the periodic table, record the memory of the others. In the Xibalba story, you have 14 gods. 14, 7 and 7, that do the recording. It's the same on the periodic table. Literally the same. I just showed it to you. You have a row of 7 elements with one that becomes a master element like carbon or silicon. And so these gods in Xibalba, which are outside of that one generation, they're 9, are just recording. Your fear is being recorded. So you, as the hero twins, you have to make it through that fear. What is the fear? I'm going to tell you what the fear is. The fear is of being yourself, a creator. You don't think that you are a god. You are wrong. And you will pay the price for it, because the beautiful part about knowing that you're a god is you get to be responsible for every aspect of your own actions, deeds, thoughts, and behavior. You get to have the awareness that you are responsible, whether you take the responsibility or not. And if you don't take the responsibility, you're giving it away. And if you give it away to someone else, then someone else is writing your script for you. They can't go there. Their data is not saved. You ever go try to save a file on Microsoft Word and it tells you can't save this file, it's a corrupted file? All I'm telling Black people is y'all need to pay attention who is an immortal and who is immortal. I will stand before the world on science and prove that you are immortal. Literally. And that now your punishment that you have as of late is you are letting mortals tell you what to do, guide you, advise you. Do you know how much memory you have saved up if you get your weak ass up and tap into yourself? The type of memory that you have is the type that will bring back some great shit from the past that we need in order to build ourselves back up so that we have our own autonomy. But your ass is scared. Your ass is scared. You don't want to take over a planet or over a city or over your own jurisdiction. Your ass is scared to ask somebody to go to the damn Ramadan ball. You ain't about to go nowhere. Y'all want to ascend to the heights of your purpose in life, and you don't understand how many times in a day you are confessing to yourself that you are in Xibalba. You are in the place of fear. These death gods are decapitating you. One of the things they show in the monuments in stone, in the epigraphy, and in the actual codices is that you have gods that will take your head. Do you understand what that means? A death god took your head. You're mentally dead. The head is the crown. They took your crown. They took it. They taking your crown, bro. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't hear nothing. We had nothing from these niggas. They're taking your crown. So this is like the periodic table is not for you to go learn some dumb shit, boring reactions. I mean, it is practical. I mean, you got to learn how to make cleaning products and stuff like that. You can learn the periodic table. You can be an effective cleaner, but the periodic table is an extraction of nature. We could change the language or just change the names of these elements. It doesn't matter. We're still going to end up measuring the same thing. And the measurement is showing us how creation changes. But the beautiful part about it that we have to understand literally, and this is important, literally, atoms die and atoms are reborn just like you when you wake up in your sleep. It's called beta decay. Look it up. And we know exactly what atoms they decay into. The experiments are done. They all decay back into helium and go into the three parts of the underworld where the inert gases just turn jet black and they are cold. We call that space. Space is a memory bank. Let me ask you a question. When they set up servers like the ones that run Facebook, what do they have to do? They have to put them in a place and keep it what? Really cold. When they wanted to build a quantum computer, what did they do? They got a measurement on the temperature of space and they made it colder than space. Do you know why they're doing that? This is so that the quantum computer can think, but think at another level. Think without electrical resistance and without entropy. Think without stress. When you're thinking without stress, you have the power to bring something out of nothing, which is folded light from light. So the whole Ramadan period, the whole winter solstice period is to do what? Fast. What is the fasting going to do? Fast is going to put your body in a certain biological state, lymphatic system, healing, tissue repair. Now that your body is in that state, and now you're doing breathing exercises and you're visualizing what you want to come into existence, what do you have to do in the visualization? You close your damn eyes. You go into the darkness, which is the light. And you think about the things you want to get rid of, the things you need to balance, the things that you want to bring into existence, and anything you need to receive. Those are your 4 prayers, the power tongue, during the day. You do that for a whole 30 days, and you crown it with a star, which is the Queen of Spades, which is Sirius. But she's not by herself. She got a king, and she has a prince or a princess with her, the crown row. The Trinity, the real Trinity. So how you not gonna show up to the Ramadan ball, bruh? You supposed to be there, man, woman, and child. And even if you ain't got a child yet, you got man and woman. You got the hero twins. The hero twins, they'll tell you, are literally the sun and the moon. What the fuck do you think the story is talking about, bro? Men need to know you can't win on this earth without a woman. That's why if you're a pussy and you can't even ask a woman out on a date, why do you deserve to even be in the conversation of purpose? I don't make the rules. I just follow them. So, no, you don't die. You just bring the energy of all of your lifetimes with you every time. The only real death is the decapitation in Xibalba because you fear. That's it. There is no other death. The death that you think is death is more fear that you have in ignorance. And we can look at your life and see whether you've been fucking following the rules. No, I'm not talking about yesterday. I'm talking about lifetimes. Has your ass been following the universal directives? But no, you've been fucking around, and that's why you're in that fucking state. You can't hide, bitch. We see you. I'm talking about anybody. White, black, candy stripe. It doesn't matter. All of y'all motherfuckers. But to the white people, by the way, I have to give the caveat that you are mortal. You ain't coming back from nowhere. Bitch, you couldn't even get here without our permission. And that's the permission of our effect, not the permission of our cause. Ain't no way you bringing your stinking sulfur ass into the cosmos to record shit. Your stinking ass never been nowhere but here on this fucking earth. That's it. You ain't been a part of no stars, nothing. You already got an iron deficiency. They some rusty, dusty ass niggas. I'm just gonna tell the truth because they like this. They just like to harass us, right? I'm gonna do a whole show on where do white people come from. I dared them to come into the chat. They think I'm just gonna use all these European books and show them Harry. No, I'm going to anatomy books. I'm going to show you who you really are. Because you're proud. You have this vanity. Could you imagine being a funky, nasty ass beast and you have this vanity about you? Like, you the shit? Like, damn, nigga, at least pipe down and be humble, you stinking motherfucker. You smell like boiled eggs, bitch. Why are you piping up? Y'all ever seen a motherfucker that's like the dustiest nigga ever trying to turn up? Hey, why you looking like? You all right, bro? Like, are you okay? Why the fuck is you turning up, bro? Like, do you need, bro? Yeah, get that nigga some wipes, nigga, or something. I'm talking about any type of dusty. You could be a dusty ass parent. You could be somebody dusty ass child. You could be the dusty ass teacher. You could be the governor. Didn't they just have the Michigan head coach? You 39 years old. You got a wife and 2-3 children at home, and you get caught up at some other faculty member's house. You lose your job as the head coach of the university because you got caught up running behind some dusty ass staff. This is a brother. Like, just doing dumb, dusty shit, nigga. So, we don't do dusties here. There shall be no dust. Actually, we have some fairy dust. But besides the fairy dust, there will be no dust. Maybe some hoppe dust. We don't do dusties, motherfucker. Keep your dusty ass over there. We don't want no incarnations of dusty niggas around us. Go to the motherfucking local Arna clinic and get that fixed. We got indigenous doctors on every corner. You can Google them. My point to you is none of these $5 Indians know anything about the indigenous history of nothing. They be making up some crazy ass Woodstock new age bullshit about what all this shit means. Like, y'all be reading these Mayan books on the 4 agreements and all of this, and you know what they are? They're kind of like romance novels because they are like, this is the serpent talking to the woman in the metaphorical sense of what that means. This is the I'm gonna tickle your fancy with all of this romantic shit. Oh, keeping the principles of the 4 agreements. I'm looking at that shit like, this is some dry ass shit right here. And you're like, why are you talking about that book? I like that book. Of course you do. Of course you do. Flies like dust. Flies like dust. Maggots like shit. You don't imagine you don't even know that you stink. You ever been around somebody that don't know they stink? Like you smell them and they think motherfuckers be thinking they actually smell good. They be wearing all kind of perfume and shit, and the shit be stink. Like it's a little bit of nature, a little bit of alcohol, and a little bit of funk, and a little bit of dust, all mixed together. But getting back to the point, this month is about you like really having a moment. And the moment is going to create a wave, and you're going to ride that into next year. You're going to ride it into next year. When they do the ritual of the ball drop, they're doing that based on ancient indigenous and ancient science of our people. Like, it's so amazing to know that right now, and to know that you don't know what the fuck is inside that ball. Like, one of the things that you use for group hypnosis and meditation is an object, and everyone has to look at the object. If you have any sense whatsoever, I don't want you to ever look at that ball drop. You don't know what's in there. You don't know who prayed over that shit. You don't know who's praying around that shit. You don't know what's inside of the motherfucking ball. You better be somewhere with some people that you love. Because if you're not, people think that magic is fake. Meanwhile, they're complaining about a world that they can't seem to solve. Isn't that ironic? If you were intelligent, you would know how to solve it. Anyway, I have nothing else to say. I will be back Sunday, though, because I'm coming back and tell everybody with the inoculation that y'all motherfuckers have HIV. I don't care what you say. So you can take your little, what's they call it? Kaposi sarcoma? Yeah, whatever that shit is that motherfuckers have AIDS. You got AIDS, nigga. Anybody tell you to take that goddamn inoculation? That's your fault. I'll be back Sunday. I have nothing else to say about this subject except if you let Xibalba overcome you, that is your fault. Your goal in life is to win, and to win peacefully. Shit, to win big. Stop faking like you're winning. Go win for real. Then when we look at you, we're going to be like, oh yeah, they're winning for real. You keep faking it, you're recording the same horror story, and it's getting worse. You on fucking Freddy Krueger part 95. Amityville Horror 102. And the weight of your life, you're showing it. Because instead of solving the problems in the most practical way, not based on what you like all the time. Some of you are like that. You only want to do what the fuck you like. You know what? The light field got some shit for you. And then it comes out like, damn, see what I'm doing, what I like, got me a problem in life that I can't solve. That's going to destroy me. You're disobedient. Disobedient to the wrong shit. Obedient to, obedient to the wrong shit. Disobedient to the right shit. You need to change that. It's called pressure. But you know what? Carbon under pressure is supposed to make what? Diamonds. That can work both ways, baby. Because the diamonds are a sign that things can organize themselves well. That's a good thing. Under pressure. If pressure brings you to more self-organization, that's a great thing. Sometimes people just get hard and callous And they have all kind of reasons other than the reality of your behavior made you that way. You put yourself in unnecessary pressures because you wanted to do what you like. It gets us. It gets all of us. And so we look, you have a think about this. Think about what I'm about to say. You have a never-ending lesson that you have to deal with. You have a never-ending lesson that you can't escape. Motherfucker be wanting to go commit suicide. Bitch, you're gonna be back. The same anguish that you refuse to face or deal with. That's the highest level of torture. Imagine being God, right? And having the ability to be God in person, which is a different thing. Being God in person is now you're personalizing your godhood. That's you. That's me. But we are a circle. The circle is the light. Imagine being in circle of light and having to make all types of fantasies up in your head, believing in Jesus, believing in ancestors, believing in all the shit that takes you away from responsibility, which is identity. And you have to loop that shit over and over again. I'm talking straight to your heart. All the people who are you could be a good person, right? And be good for nothing. Or you be talking about people with religions. Yes, I'm talking about your religion. That shit is going to get you in trouble. You got to come back and deal with the same shit. But actually, we got something for you this time. This time is different. I won't even get into this conversation. This gets very complex. But I will say this. You better get your shit together. Hell is real. Like, you live in it now, and you can live in a hyper-dimensional dream state of hell. I am not joking. Like, you ever imagine this. Imagine a nightmare. You know how you have a nightmare? You wake up, you be like, whew, shit. You relieve. Why? Because you're released from the dream. Imagine living a horrible, lying, deceptive, destructive, fake, inauthentic, jealous, driven, over-competitive ass life, and then your ass die and you're stuck in a nightmare of it, and your bitch ass can't wake up. That's when you realize, you're going to realize when at that moment where you actually are. Oh yeah. You think it's fake. No, it's as scientific as you can get. Everything that lives here in this space that we know comes from a womb and dies back into one. I'm talking about even the whole fucking planet. Even the star itself. It takes a long time, but it's doing the same thing. The same way you come into existence and go out of existence, that star is going to do the same thing. Then it's going to come right back. If you're asking me what's wrong with ancestors, go back to the page and study. This is a classroom. I refuse to repeat myself. It's a whole bunch of videos. If you're interested and you really want to know, you'll go study. And we have one video on this page that's completely dedicated to answering that question. This is the checkup room. I'm telling you. And I'm not even getting onto the science right now, because if I got onto it, you would need class to understand it. You would literally need class to understand it. Because I can show you, we can go right now and show you the questions that Einstein left, the questions that Rutherford left, the questions that Dirac left. Then it's right there in front of their faces and they don't know. Then there's other people that solved their problems who turned down $1 million of awards and want to just be on shrooms and take care of their mother. Don't even want to take the money from these motherfuckers because they realize if I tell them more, my piece leaves. I'm crazy. I don't care. There's nothing you can do to defeat what we're saying right now. Your bitch ass will go through every incarnation defeating yourself until you become white and you can't incarnate anymore. That's how the movie script runs. Yes, I know that white people are black people who refuse to listen. Yeah, some of y'all niggas gonna come back white. And that's it. You're done after that. You're gonna live a stinky, hairy, funky, sulfur, egg, yeast, fungus life in that shell in the most miserable way that you could ever imagine. And what if this is the punishment? I'd be reading all kind of literature. What if the punishment after that is that you go into the hyperdimensional state and you stay there forever? Hyperdimensional nightmare state. You think people be thinking that white people got power because they can put people in jail. And then you're tormented in there, they can rape you, they can do all that. What if God, what if the light field, what if the electromagnetic spectrum causer can put you in a celestial prison for fucking ever for disrespecting its zone of jurisdiction and influence? What if, motherfucker? What if being a fucked up person actually gets you the worst penalty ever? A hyperdimensional, eternal fucking prison. What if? You might call me crazy for even proposing. Now, I'm not saying it's true or false. I'm just saying that I've read it. I've read it, meaning read it in indigenous tradition. See, the thing about it is it's the same people who put all this weight in the fact that they believe that the vaccine had no HIV in it. You put so much fucking weight and confidence in the most retarded shit ever. You're going to put your confidence in people who came and admitted on the record that they should have never gave you this shit in the first place. You're going to put your confidence in a thing when a whole group of people who deal with bodies after they die, coroners and medical examiners, came together and did a whole symposium saying that there's something wrong with the blood of these people. Then they are marking the fact that you think lots of people didn't die, but they're saying there's been a shift in the world population since this shit happened. You're going to put confidence in these motherfuckers that they got it right? Fauci? Biden? Bruh, you deserve, if I was the one in charge of the whole thing, I would put your ass in a eternal hyperdimensional hell just for even fucking with that shit. That would be my punishment to your ass. Y'all saying y'all want to go to heaven or hell. Yeah, we got real heaven and hell right here. We're going to cook. No, you going to cook. You're going to cook. What if the penalty for being a fucked up motherfucker is our eternal hyperdimensional prison? People can laugh, right? The only reason that I'm confident is because I'm not a fucked up nigga. And even if it was here, I would never experience it. I'm cool with that. I'm going to play it safe. It's fun being a gentleman. It's fun being a great father. It's fun being a great husband. It's fun being an authentic brother that shit is cool to me. I like how it feels. I like the fact that I'm about to roll up this fat one. I never smoke in public. I don't do that. I have great etiquette, but I'm about to roll up something I haven't even eaten yet. I got me some bison chili up in this motherfucker. I'm about to roll up my joint and close out my day. Go get a head rub or a back rub. To you gay niggas who don't like women. What is wrong with you, nigga? You ought to be tired of jacking the fuck off by yourself. What the fuck is wrong with you? Go get you a woman. That's what's wrong with you. You're masturbating yourself out of your power. Because you got to be doing something. Either you're gay or you're watching porn or doing something you don't even want to go and get your own women and take them to a nice time. Like, damn, what happened, nigga? Just weird. So, we'll see on December 28th who's weird and who's not. I don't want to hear shit. Don't say nothing to me. I'm going to be laughing at you in my head every time when I think about the fact that when the party came, you didn't show up. A free party, a tribal party, a party to celebrate all the work you did for all 12 months in the year. Your ass didn't want to show up. That's strange to me. Not that I want you there anyway, because I don't want you there because we only want the people who want to be there so we have a good time. I'm just saying we got measurement sticks now. But that shows me a lot. Like we be having summits. We have summits every year. Niggas got up like one little weekend out of the year. Every niggas got everything else to do. That's interesting. I don't be caring because I don't be thinking about it during the summit. But then I think about it afterwards. I'll be like, damn, that's strange. Or you're a woman. Women have a fucking birth conference. You got children and you ain't come to the birth conference. Strange. So what you're going to find out, and this is a caveat to other people. I've been doing this long enough. I swear it don't bother me at all. For the young leaders coming up, for the people coming up, you're going to have to master how to deal with strange ass niggas in life. You're going to have the etiquette. You're going to have the poker face sometimes. Sometimes you're going to have to not have, you have the gas face. I don't know what the fuck. You can have any face you want. But I'm just trying to tell you, one of the skills in life is you're going to have to learn to deal with these strange, weird ass niggas. And if you get good at it, your life will be cool. I'm done. I'll see y'all Sunday. Send all y'all AIDS, your family with AIDS and HIV, so I can announce their eulogy. And I'm going to do it with science. And maybe they'll laugh. Maybe they'll cry. Maybe they will not like me. Maybe they'll be thankful for me. I don't know. But I'm going to deliver the information. I promise you, just for your sake, because you have to deal with your family members. I will stick to the science. I will show everything that is published so that they will not say, Pfizer, it is it a Pfizer document or is it not? That's the question, because I'm live on YouTube. I can be sued by Pfizer if I put some shit out that is making a lie up against them. Literally, I could literally be drugged in court by all these rich motherfuckers and put in jail for some shit or fined grossly. I ain't trying to do that. I don't want them type of problems. But I know the motherfuckers did not tell you that they put HIV protease enzymes inside of the fucking inoculation. They did not tell you that shit. I'm going to show you that shit. You don't believe me? That's okay. I'll take my time out and have a nice Sunday bison meal and then get on here and cook because this shit did happen. So don't you bring your HIV ass up around us talking about you want to court nobody. Nope. Did you take the vax? Oh, you have to fill out a contract. a document that says that you did not take the vaccine if you want to come in the tribe. And then if we, at our own discretion, can use testing to test to see whether or not you told the truth or not. And if you lie, you come into the tribe, you with your HIV ass up, and you lie, we're going to sue you. That's why we get you to sign the contract. We're not letting no zombies in. Y'all cannot come amongst us as zombies. If you took the fucking vax, we gave you the fucking remedy. Just like if you got HIV, we will give you the fucking remedy. But if you took the fucking vax, there's a simple remedy. It focuses on one receptor, the acetylcholine receptor in the nervous system. Easy fix. Yes, blood type does have impact on getting pregnant. There's universal blood types like O, and then there's other blood types like A, B, AB. And those are the general 4 blood types. And then you have RH factor. I did a whole presentation on that. It's on my Patreon. If y'all don't know my Patreon, patreon.com/Dr. Ali. Let's put that in there. Because y'all gonna have to get a new education, and that requires structure. Sign up to the Patreon. We got this lecture on RH factor. So RH negative is a mutation. I know you got Young Pharaoh, Dr. York, all these people talking about RH factor is like some kind of holy alien blood. Like, bruh, let me break this down to you. See, this is how honest I am. I started that fucking wrong information. Then they ran off with it. Dr. York ran off with that shit. Young Pharaoh, this is way back when I was teaching back in early 2000s. And we changed it. RH negative is not some super duper. It is a blood cell mutation. RH positive is the normal blood type. So if you got RH factor issues, you can cause erythroblastosis in the child. If you have other, not just RH factor or the actual blood typing, there are other factors that can cause what we're calling erythroblastosis, or the mother's body attacking the child. So get with the midwives and the people in the tribal birth class. They can teach you how to plan your children, things that you want to, who you want to plan it with, the health of the man, health of the woman. You need all of those things. So blood types can affect that. And what y'all really need to do, y'all really need to get in class, because again, we teach all these things in classes where indigenous doctors or other groups of people, tribal midwives, birth workers, they learn these things so that they can help the community. Did the Egyptian weighing of the heart originate in indigenous America? No. Not to my knowledge. If somebody can correct me, though, if they have any other knowledge. But the deities did originate in America. Like Ma'at, that's Muwan Ma'at. Literally, her mother is in Mexico. Powhatan in Egypt is Jehuti, god of writing. And then the other, you got other gods or deities where there's zoomorphic types, like the falcon. The falcon is an American bird. It originates in America. The dog. The oldest dog in the world is the American wolf. Then you start looking at elephants. That's the woolly mammoth. The oldest lion or tiger type of animal is in the Americas. The oldest cheetah type in the Americas. Like you can just go the oldest trees. The oldest, I don't care what you go, the oldest mountain ranges. And y'all need to understand, this is how we built this information in Arna. So when y'all see people talking about this stuff, I be laughing on TikTok because people be coming at me. I be like, you don't even know you are recycling information that I put out 20 years ago. Like you acting like this shit is new. I literally be laughing because they don't even know who. They just think that the shit came by osmosis. Like somebody out of nowhere just started saying the out of Africa theory is fake. All these American civilizations. I dare you to go find somebody that was saying it before me. Where are they? Can't even find the Empress. The Empress was saying that after the day of Peleg, we left Africa and we walked over here. Nope. Muwan. Muwan. Yes, the Nutriplex and the Immune Thiols are back in stock. Everything is back in stock on the website. If you want something from the website, you can go right to it. All right, we about to get up out of here. I was been supposed to get out of here. I was just trying to answer any questions that yeah. I think we answered all the questions. We out.